everybody's watching, so.
Right.
All right, we are streaming live.
What?
Yeah, I think.
Watch live now, the Pittman Group. The Pittman Group live stream. We're live!
We are starting stream health, receiving your content. Audience will see it in a minute. All right, here it comes.
Yay.
Yay, we're up and live.
We are live.
Awesome. All right, so apparently there is a delay.
Yep.
And I can't watch both, so I'm going to be shutting these off. All right, I'm going to close that out. Close tabs. I'm going to start closing some stuff. We're still streaming, so this is just kind of like setup time.
Yep.
Yeah. What? Oh, man, you're funny. I need to just shut down a bunch of programs right now that we do not need. Be careful not to shut down the live streaming software.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're live streaming. Let's shut down the software.
Hey, you want to hit record on the iPhone?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me.
Oh, it might be. Oh, it should still be up. I left it on Filmic, so you should just be able to hit the button.
Let me see.
You're right over there.
I'm like all wired up too.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
And we're recording.
We're recording. Sweet. All right, I'm just closing a bunch of stuff because I need to, and then we'll start talking.
We'll start talking. What are we talking about?
Talking about live streaming today.
Oh, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, we're live streaming about live streaming.
Huh. So clever.
Who came up with that? And we are live.
Yay.
Don't save. Come on, close.
Wonder who all is watching us. I am managing the chat, so if anybody wants to say anything, feel free to chat us.
Ask questions, huh?
Yep, ask questions.
Sweet.
I may not have an answer,
No.
but we'll figure it out.
Figure out how to do this, huh?
Yep.
I got my notes right here.
I got my notes right here.
How are you managing to chat and reading your notes at the same time?
Very carefully. I can swipe.
Swipe right, swipe left.
Yep.
It's the Tinder of live streaming.
Managing notes and live chat at the same time.
Yeah, it's talent. It really is.
Yes. Great.
If I could get some of this stuff to quit, we'd be in a lot better shape.
Sometimes it's just hard to quit, you know what I'm saying?
It is. Windows is messing me up right now. That's what's doing it.
Yeah, Windows will do that.
Yeah. But
That's why we use Macs.
yeah.
The delay is interesting to me.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I posted on my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and my Facebook that we're live
Cool.
streaming, so my personal ones, we'll see what happens. Should I post? I don't know that I have access to the company one. I don't know that we necessarily need to do that, but
It's kind of funny. I have to force quit the force quit report.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't close out our live stream.
No, it doesn't. All right, everything else is closed now. So, let's see. Get some background programs closed here too.
Pete, you do too much at once.
Well, multi-talented. All right, frame rate's coming back up.
Sorry if anybody is seeing a horrible lag or issues with frame rates. We are fixing that as we speak, so stay tuned.
Trying to fix it as we speak.
Yes, Braylon, we are shutting it all down.
Braylon's watching, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Bray. What's going on, man?
We know you're in the room right next to us, but this is still fun.
All right, we're up to 20 frames a second.
Well, actually, Zach, any computer can handle it, whether it's a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, or an Android, just so you know. And for those that are watching and don't know what he chatted in, he said the Mac can't handle it.
Not true. Windows can't handle the truth. All right. 23 frames a second. I think we are just about there. I think next time we are definitely going to do the hardwire, though.
Yeah. Well, we'll be in the studio.
Yep.
Right now we're in the conference room.
All right. So, shall we get started?
We shall. Dialing back some audio here. Looks like we're peeking out just a smidge.
Okay.
So.
It's not peaking here.
Yeah, it was on the board. So.
All right. I'm going to turn it up a little bit here so that we're kind of even with what's on the board. The input.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So.
Great.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do this.
Fantastic. Well, hello, everybody. This is Peter Mario, Chief Marketing Officer of the Pittman Group. I'm here today with Randall Benson, one of our senior digital media strategists. And today we're going to be talking to you about live streaming.
While we're live streaming.
While we're live streaming. So, live streaming is really starting to take over the space. YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. Twitter, is using Periscope, but if you look at gamers, Twitch is a big live streaming platform. But what we're talking about today really is some of the reasons people should be using live streaming in their marketing and media plans.
Absolutely.
As well as how to live stream.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting here today and we've got a 4K camera set up. We've got a soundboard. We've got 2 computers. And people look at this and say, "Oh my God, this is like so complex,
absolutely,
and crazy." And we want to show people that it's not that bad. We've decided to go with a more advanced setup than you might have, but we're going to be talking about some of the setups that people can do themselves and quickly get online, quickly live stream, and we'll start talking about some of the power of live streaming. So, with that said, why should people care about live streaming?
Well, it's funny you say that. There's been a lot of studies and a lot of things done to show that this is actually working. Studies show that 80% would rather watch live video from a brand than a blog. Like they'd rather watch a video than a blog post. And actually, 82% actually prefer live video over even social posts. So seeing anything you post online, that's great, but if it's live video, they'd rather watch that. 78% of online audiences are already watching video on Facebook Live. That's 78% of all online audiences are already watching live video. So another study actually done by the University of Dartmouth found that 86% of colleges and universities already have a presence on YouTube. And YouTube's mobile consumption is growing 100% every year. So more and more people are watching this. Every single year they're watching content on YouTube, which is a great opportunity. That's where we're streaming at live today. Bottom line, there's just a lot of people that want to watch your content live. And they'll watch more of it. In fact, they say that viewers will spend 8 times longer watching a live video than they will some pre-canned on-demand video.
That's very interesting. and I think this goes along with the trends of the community created video and cord cutters.
Yeah.
As we were logging onto YouTube there today to start streaming this, they've got these big advertisements about cable-free TV.
Yeah.
And their new YouTube Red product with TV. Facebook's coming out with Watch. I assume Twitter will follow soon.
Oh, absolutely.
Periscope is already probably there, but you've got more and more of these streaming services, Roku sticks, Fire TV, Apple TV, all are making plays to become basically cable channels for a lot less.
Yes.
And where people's attention is right now are on these new services. They're on the YouTubes. They're on the Hulus. They're on the Twitches.
Yep.
Because it's sort of customizable TV. You don't have to sit through a ton of commercials. You don't have to sit through programming that you don't necessarily like to get to the programming you want.
Yeah.
And people use it for educational purposes.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Right. So with that said, we've talked a little bit about getting started in live streaming.
Yeah.
And we've got a fairly nice setup going on here. The Panasonic Lumix 4K camera over there. We've got a 8-input soundboard.
Yep.
So we can run multiple microphones. We're running actually free software. Through the computer, OBS software.
Yep.
And while it took a little bit of time to set it up, it's basically drag and drop, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's understanding where things are on your computer. It's no different than trying to run FaceTime.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but with that said, I think people think that you have to have a television studio in order to do this, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of options out there to live stream. I mean, you can go the whole high def, 4K, 10-bit, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, all it really takes, this right here, my cell phone. As fast as you can get logged into Facebook, you can be live streaming. And it's just that easy. Many people are doing it that way because that's all it really takes. We were talking a minute ago about how people are using these different services, and things like the Apple TV and the Roku and all that are becoming more and more relevant. Well, I think it's because there's kind of two things going on here. We've got people that want control, ultimately. They want control, and they want to see real and personalized. And that's the great thing about the live streaming is if I can just go out and grab this and start filming stuff and what's going on, I can show real life what's happening then and there, and people can access that content on their own choosing, on their own control. And that's what the beauty of this whole thing is. You can start streaming so fast, so easily.
So, we've talked about users are gravitating more towards live streaming and towards online platforms, and it's interesting. We brought up Roku a couple of times. I was watching local news this morning. Kansas City, and one of their big pitches was, we now have a Roku channel.
Oh.
You don't need to have cable service to watch our news, which I think is really interesting. You start seeing more of the mainstream channels going onto Roku. And,
absolutely.
Once you're on Roku, it's Amazon, Apple TV are next for having apps. So interesting there. But back to our main point, which was about equipment and getting online quickly. It's great we can get online quickly, but how is this applicable to schools? This is, we deal primarily in education. We could see this being, well, you can't really go out there and sell a school on live video, can you?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Here's the value in live streaming in a school situation. A lot of our clients, they put together on a daily basis, presentations. They're always teaching students. They're always going out there. And, here's the other side of it. Students want to connect with where they're going to school. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. People want two things. They want control, and they want real personalized content. And if you're doing that, if you're going in there and you're creating this live video feed and you're saying, hey, here's actually where you will be taking your classes. Here's what it looks like to, and actually showing that in a real live situation, people are going to get connected way better than they would of just saying, oh, here's my tens of thousands of dollar production. I came in with this, film crew and produced this great little 30-second spot that shows somebody sitting down at a computer in a nicely lit, perfect little room. That's not real. I mean, let's be honest. That's just not real, and that's where the live video comes to play. So absolutely, schools need to jump in. They need to make use of this right now. Any presentations they're doing, any events, whether especially for nonprofit schools when they're doing their maybe pep rallies or something of that nature, prime things to be putting live online.
Yeah. So you talk about doing pitches and presentations. I'm going to do a pitch for us right now because we've got a big presentation coming up on March 1st.
Yeah.
We'll be talking all about full cycle nurturing and enrollment marketing for education. Really different way to look at lead generation. And we will be streaming it live. We'll also be live in Las Vegas. So anybody who's attending the ABHES conference, they should be out there and visiting our booth in Las Vegas while we're holding this live event. But live streaming and video is definitely a major component in a marketing campaign for 2018.
Oh, absolutely.
And we look at it, we're talking about how easy it is. We're talking about there's applicability. But there's got to be a catch, right?
It's funny you say that because everybody's like, oh, yeah, all this, and there's got to be a catch. Well, there isn't a catch. There are some things that you can do to make it better, obviously. I mean, that goes with anything, One of those things is, definitely pre-plan. I mean, we didn't just kind of jump in here today and we're not going completely off the cuff here.
I got notes.
Yeah, he's got notes. I got them right here. We've got notes. We planned this out. We set all this stuff up. We knew what we were going to do. The big thing is hype it up on social media. We didn't hype this one up, and you don't get a whole lot of people when you don't do that. But at the same time, you got to hype this up. You got to plan for it. You got to put this stuff out in front of you so that you're getting tons and tons of people to come to your event. So pre-planning, that's one thing you can do to kind of step it up a little bit. Be sure to interact with individuals in real time. I think that helps a lot because if people see you interacting on a regular basis while you're doing your live streams, they're going to come back for more live streams because, again, they get that personal one-on-one connection. In a world of virtual life that we seem to all live in our social medias and our emails and everything else, we don't get that one-to-one connection that you have in person. That's where live streaming and being able to interact comes into play, and that is very powerful.
Well, before you move on from the interaction part of it, I think it's important that some of our clients, as well as some of our audience, hear the fact that we hear the term influencer marketing thrown around, right? So you ask yourself, why would you want to use a YouTube? Why would you want to use a Facebook? Why would you want to use an Instagram? I'll bet you that your daughters, my daughter, who are in that teenage years, getting ready to go to college, they know more about YouTube stars than they do about television stars.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of controversial stuff gone on with him, but Logan Paul, at one point in time, the highest paid YouTuber. Making insane amounts of cash. But if you were between the ages of 13 and 16,
you knew who that was.
You knew who Logan Paul was. And that goes for people of all age groups. People on YouTube, people on Facebook, people on Instagram are becoming extremely influential. I saw this app the other day that it's becoming more and more popular, but musically. And me being a 45-year-old man, I'm like, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen, right? It's crazy. It's people like lip syncing. It's got all kinds of goofy content. But yeah, kids love it. Teenagers love it. And people are being made famous on this app. When I talked to my daughter about it, because I'm like, I heard this app and it's growing, and she's like, yeah, I used it like 3 years ago. I was like, did? I didn't know about this. But the point is that these platforms are making influencers.
Absolutely, they are.
And it's coming from that interaction. It's not just, oh, I'm putting out a lot of good content. It's coming from the interaction. I think it's a sense of being able to see that real side of somebody. Where you don't get that with a movie star or television star or even even your local newscasters. They're not as down to earth as a Logan Paul or Gary Vaynerchuk is one that I bring up all the time because he's really started that push towards YouTube and marketing. But yeah, I think that also just kind of extends the importance of being on these platforms.
Absolutely, and you know, it's funny that whole connection thing. Human beings strive for interaction with other human beings.
Yeah.
And in our day and age, that just doesn't exist as much because we're so fast paced that we're emailing, we're texting, we're tweeting, we're Facebook, liking things and all that. We don't actually call somebody and say, I really appreciate you. That doesn't even happen. It's a like on Facebook's all you get. And that same thing. That's where all this connection comes into play and why it is so powerful. Because bottom line, human nature is we crave to have interaction with other humans. Mm-hmm. So absolutely.
Cool. So, looking at the types of content schools can put out,
mm-hmm.
all right, what are you thinking? Are you thinking like classroom teaching sessions, student tours?
Yeah.
I could see a really cool thing, happening where, a school takes an hour a day maybe, or a half hour a day where they have live streaming time, and one of their admissions representatives takes a tour of the school.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, I mean, you could do something like that. You could even have a kid, one of the students, take over, the stream. Mm-hmm. Like, let a student kind of hijack your live stream, if you will. Let them run around for an hour or two. Obviously, you'd want to make sure it's somebody you trusted, obviously, and vetted that out, of course. Yeah. But, doing things like that, showing your classes on a regular basis, pick one a month or something, and live stream a course, that, make it a free course that's available, promote it in your community, say, here's a free course on, something that would better your community, too. I think that gains some more traction too when it's got some social relevance that way. Anytime you have an announcement or something from maybe from the dean or something like that, have the dean get on camera and talk about it. It's so easy. It's not people make it dressed up like we have to have all this big production to do these things. No, just put the camera on them and let them talk. That's that simple.
So you're saying they don't need to be CNN, Fox News, ABC,
no,
NBC.
Don't have to be that kind of level.
Right?
No. There's things you can do to step up to that, mm-hmm. And get that kind of quality. Like, we could be throwing all these graphics right now. We could be, doing overlays, cutting in extra video and all that we've produced. It doesn't have to be that way. Do you want me to talk about some of those things that they could do? Yeah.
Definitely.
So, there's definitely some things that you can do. One of those things is, we're talking about all this equipment. One of the things that I would suggest is software. What we're doing right now allows us to actually have multiple cameras if we wanted to. We could be cutting between our webcams on our actual computer. We could be cutting to multiple cameras. We can have different audio inserts. So we could put in, maybe some music while we're talking. You can put sound effects, whatever that may be. Yeah. So a couple of those softwares might be vMix. That's a great one. OBS software. That's what we're currently using. All these stream to every platform pretty much. At this point, they're pretty much all streaming to all of them. You've got your YouTube, you got your Facebook, you got your Twitter. They're going to all those things, plus more. You can also get other third-party stream opportunities if you've got another service that you work with. In fact, here, let me do this. I'm just going to...
I'm actually putting on my webcam right now. We'll transition to it.
Yeah.
So I've got
there we go.
Picture-in-picture right now, but if I wanted to, I could take over the entire screen.
Yeah, so I'm going to post here.
With my pretty face.
OBS is what we're using there. I just posted that in the chat. Hey.
Yeah, I'm up there right now.
Pete. And then vMix is another great software too. I just posted both those links in the chat, so you have those available. We'll add them to the description afterwards, and we post the recording. Those are great softwares to work with, though. So. And our stream's a little off, so I think those actually came up before everybody heard what we were even talking about there. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's the nature of streaming too. You get a little behind, so don't focus on what you're actually streaming. Focus on just presenting.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you can also share your screen that way. So if you're doing a presentation and you're talking about maybe some computer skills, you can actually use this software to cut in to show your actual computer screen and be able to show stuff that's going on there. So that's great.
Well, and the picture-in-picture works very well for that too, because you can be showing a PowerPoint presentation in the background.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you've got your face. You're talking to that person right there.
Yep.
And if you really want to stand out, having that one-to-one personal connection really makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And the great part about this is once you've recorded a live stream, it's there for
Yeah.
ever, right?
As long as you want it to be available, it can be public.
You keep it public on YouTube. You keep it. You can share it out through other channels.
All your social media.
Or you can save it yourself and share it out through your marketing materials.
Yep.
Right? So,
yeah, you could cut that up and put that into your next 30-second spot if you want to. I mean,
actually, that's one of the things we'll be doing here. Is we're going to be cutting this up into a podcast as well, an audio podcast.
Yep.
Which is another thing that we'll be talking about more next week. But audio, huge right now.
Yeah, very important.
I'm real bullish on Alexa skills. I love Alexa skills right now because nobody's doing them well. Yeah. There's a bunch of people trying to figure them out, but there's a long way to go to get from Alexa, do my playlist, to Jarvis from Iron Man, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the dream.
But that's the dream with all the audio stuff that's going on right now. I mean, I think the ultimate goal is it's just going to be that easy, just speak and things happen. Yeah. Think it and things will happen. I mean, that's kind of where I feel like everything's going. There's some other things it's going to talk about too to kind of make your stream kind of step it up a notch. Aside from just having software, that'd probably be the first key. The second thing is you can get a better camera. Yep. And there's some other opportunities to step up the quality of your video without getting a better camera. You can still keep using your cell phone, but a better camera, a prosumer camera, if you've got something available, a lot of times now your basic DSLRs that you can purchase online, those will have video capabilities. You can stream them right into your computer. If somebody has questions about some of those, feel free to contact us. We'd love to review with you some opportunities there. The other big thing, lighting. I used to be told whenever I was taking courses on best way to set up the cameras, and the bottom line, my professor would always say, the difference between an amateur and a professional is your lighting. Yeah. And so lighting's key. I mean, a little bit of lighting can go a long way. We've got great lighting in this room, but you can always add a little light. In fact, I'm just going to post in here the Amazon link to the one that we use here. If anybody wants that, this is actually similar light to what we use whenever we're out and about shooting, whenever we're doing some of the live stream stuff. Great little battery operated light that just adds so much. Yeah. And if you are out and about shooting, if you're walking around while you're trying to do this stuff and you're doing tours of your campus, or you're at a live event and you're trying to show off things, one of the things I always notice is you get that Blair Witch effect going on. It's like that whole shaky and it's like it's spooky a little bit. That's also jarring to anybody watching it, because we're sitting here still. And yet you're sitting there, and so there are.
It causes epilepsy.
If you want your viewers to watch those kind of videos longer, the best thing to do is get a stabilizer, some sort of gimbal. They're readily available. They're all over the internet now. That's kind of the big thing right now in cell phone accessories for videoing is getting a gimbal. Yeah. DJI has a great one. Zhiyun has a great one. Pick up a gimbal if you're going to be walking around. That's the smartest thing you could do for your video. So those are some simple things to step up the quality.
Fantastic. Well, we're sitting right around 30 minutes right now. Okay. Got about a minute and a half left. So wrapping this up, what do you hope people take away from this time today?
Start streaming video and be intentional about it.
Fantastic. So I'm going to take one more second and I'm going to once again pitch for March 1st, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. We'll be doing a live video event launching our latest product ideas. We're going to be talking to you about how you can improve your enrollment marketing efforts with a full funnel approach to it. I'm not going to give away too much now. I do want you guys to watch, but we'll also have 6 wonderful prizes. First and foremost, we got 3 live streaming kits we're going to be giving away.
There you go.
So if you're watching this now and you're saying, how do I get started with live streaming? We're going to give you the pieces and parts to get you going. All right. And the second is, one of the communication channels we'll be talking about is SMS marketing. So with that said, we are going to be giving away 3 text blasts of up to 3,000 previous leads that you have. Obviously, you got to have TCPA compliance. There's legal stuff involved, but we're going to be giving away 3 blasts of up to 3,000 records in order for us to
get started with SMS. Yeah, don't miss it. This is where I've been super excited about this event. I'm excited to be a part of, helping it on the behind the scenes put this on, So I'm excited to see what this is going to be all about. Don't miss it, March 1st.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for joining us, and be watching for our next live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to do another one on audio next week prior to the March 1st event. And March 1st event, don't miss it. You'll regret missing that event. So, all right.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody.